When you pose your character for Walkerman, it should be like a normal pose. When you pose a hand, it'll look like this with the fingers spread. Once you have the character posed, you just hit this icon here, which brings the skeleton into the scene. And I'll turn on X-ray so you can see it. And once the skeleton is in the scene, you'll want to go into setup, where you can set the width of the hips, set the width of the shoulder joints. Right about there is where you want to have them. And also scaling allows you to scale the arms or legs up. In this case we want to scale them up some so that they're lined up with the arm. Okay, and for the hand, this is how you want to start setting things up. And you can adjust joints. For example, this one's not in the right place, so you can just move it to where it needs to be. And going back here, obviously the hand is not quite right here. Spread the fingers so that they'll match better with the location of the fingers here. So once you have everything adjusted, it should look something like this. And when you are lining up the hands, you also want to check here in this view to make sure that they are lined up. When you line up the head bones, it should look something like this, with the exception of this these two joints here. It looks like one from the side, but these two joints here you have to center on the eye. Okay, so when you're lining up the joints for the eyes, you want to make sure they're centered as much as possible. Make sure you center them in both views. On these, depending on how the character is set up, you may want to use wrist bend to get the fingers to line up. Once you have all the bones lined up, one of the very important steps to do just before you skin is to hit stabilize here. And what that'll do is it'll add a lot of bones that will reduce the amount of painting skin weights that you need to do. As you can see, there were a lot of bones that were added in here. That will allow him to drop his arms and stuff like that without major distortions in the skin. So once you've done that, go up here to the left and select animation. Hold down shift, select the skin after having selected the bones. Go up to skin, bind skin, smooth bind. Now once you've skinned the character, if you try to remove the eyes using these sliders, you're going to see some strange results here. So we want to fix that. The way we do that is I'll use X-ray, and we'll go in here and select the eye joint. You'll do this on each of the joints. Then go to skin and animation. Go to edit smooth skin, remove influence. Oops, before you do that you have to hold down shift and select the skin that you want to remove the influence from. And that removes the influence. Do the same on the other one. Once you remove the influence, then what you're going to want to do is parent the eye to that eye joint by selecting the eye, then selecting the eye joint with shift held down and pressing P. So select the eye, hold down shift, select the eye joint, press P. That parents the eye to the eye joints. Then we'll take it off X-ray, and you can see what happens when you move the eyes.